So I'm going to be telling Maddie and Emily about my nudges. First, I'm going to tell them about my business nudge, which focuses on the problem of increased suicide rates in America. According to the CDC, life expectancy rates have gone down due to increased suicide. Men are at a higher risk for committing suicide because they're less likely to talk to someone about how they're feeling. So my nudge aims to lower suicide rates in America by having a suicide prevention group create an app where men can anonymously talk to a volunteer when they need someone to talk to. The only problems that we may face from this nudge is trying to find volunteers that will be available at all times to those who are seeking help. We could also face the problem of people who join the app who are not actually suicidal. So that's my business nudge.
So in regards to your business nudge, I think that it's a really good idea because I do find that to be true. Men are kind of like conditioned by society to think that they aren't allowed to talk about their feelings or it's not manly, which is super, toxic and unhealthy for men to think that way because then it leads to your issue, which is like the increased suicide rates.
Right.
So I agree with Maddie's thoughts. Like, I've seen a lot of toxic masculinity for where men feel like they can't share their feelings. And I guess, like, some advice for you would be that, like, on your app, I don't think there would be a lot of people, like, not serious about it. I think you could, like, put in procedures for people to, like, go through extensive, like, putting in information so that, like, people who wanted to, like, troll on the internet, like, wouldn't waste their time, like, putting in serious information and, like, people who actually needed help would go through it instead of people wasting their time.
Okay, yeah, I think I'll do that. My consumer behavior nudge will focus on the issue of increased vaping. Most of our generation and the younger generations use vapes. Over 50% of vape users said that they vape because they think that it's better than cigarette smoking. My nudge will aim to better educate these vape users about the risks of vaping and how it has the same harms and risks as smoking cigarettes. I will recruit volunteers that are passionate about ending vape use to gather information about similar chemicals used, risks, addictiveness between vaping and cigarette smoking. This campaign should affect the millions of vape users who are unaware of the dangers associated with vaping. The biggest problem that we may face with this nudge is that those who already vape may be addicted to it and it'll be harder for them to stop.
Okay, so about your consumer behavior, about vape, like, I know it's kind of been like a new thing, and like I honestly thought it was better than smoking a cigarette. Even though I don't vape, like knowing like those toxic like chemicals that are in, like I would never start to vape, even if like I'm around people and it's peer pressured. So I think if you get a lot of people out there to talk about and like educate and push it that it's just as the same amount of chemicals, that maybe people would stop. Like you've seen through the years, cigarette like smoking decrease, so maybe you could do the same with vape.
Okay.
Yeah, because lots of kids have this like notion that it's not as bad as cigarettes, but I just feel like the more you educate like kids on this topic, the more you can kind of scare them out of vaping because it is like damaging like cigarettes are. So I think that if you guys educate the general teenage population, then you could really make a change.
Okay, well, thank you guys for your opinions on my nudges.